All right, welcome back. Let's take a few minutes and talk about some of the things, from a user experience point of view that probably need a little bit of improvement, right? I think a lot of these are kind of a reflection of ways organizations make decisions, way organizations are structured, the history and legacy of ways of working, um, competitive pressures and so on and so forth. The cause and effect of a lot of these things are quite complex and have a lot of dimensions, but in the end, as a consumer, you just want things to work, right? You don't want them to be annoying. You want them to be clear, easily understood. If you had to learn it in the past, you want to remember the next time you try it. And that should actually be kind of the cost of entry, which we'll talk about. So the list continues here with the second page of 3. And some of the topics to address here, are heavily focused on reliability. So sometimes the app connects, sometimes my phone connects. Sometimes it prompts me to plug it in via cable so that it will connect. Sometimes the wireless connection does work, sometimes it doesn't. Particularly with CarPlay and Android Auto. Probably most egregiously is natural language or voice communication, or the inconsistencies and the unreliability in general of these systems in recognizing what your intent is or what you're actually saying. Now we have kind of the levers of payment. And the desire to generate revenue via connected services in vehicles. There have been some successes and some big failures, right? The market and consumers are watching for the last couple of years. They're hearing about it. In many cases, I think it's 30-40% of people driving a connected car don't even know that the car is connected, so what that means. So, they don't realize they're on trials. They don't realize that the trials, when they bought the vehicle, signed up at different increments, and the duration of the trials is different. So one day I can remote start my car, the next day I can't. One day I can have a conversational discussion with an agent, the next day I can't. One day I have connected navigation and I can see kind of a density of information on my journey, and the next day half of that information's gone because my connected navigation expired. OEMs are really trying to figure that out, whether it's performance-based, whether it's convenience-based, whether it's comfort-based. All these things mean different things to different people and have different thresholds of kind of payment and use and perceived value, right? Most importantly, perceived value. And then a lot of these things, I had for free in my car before, whether it's adjustable seats or heated steering wheel or even remote start. And now you want me to pay for it, which seems a little silly. So yeah, the whole issues related to connected features, to bundlings, to presentation, kind of rewinding it all the way back to setting expectations. I'm a big advocate for actually flashing off the features that somebody doesn't use and then reimbursing them for that. And through that reimbursement, you just set the tone that, okay, you're going to have to pay for things you use. You might get reimbursed for things that you don't, right? That kind of exchange of value. And then there's just the organizational complexity that kind of unnecessarily seeps into these controls and functions, right? Whether it's all the increments, whether it's temperatures at an increment of 0.5, but even in a climate control system, having an auto button that has 3 to 5 different levels, like there's a reason it's auto, right? Auto is to just get the job done.